Hello everyone, you are now watching just a test stream. We're just trying to make sure everything is all set up for YouTube, making sure that we are all good to go for tomorrow night. We would love to be on YouTube instead of Facebook. Nothing wrong with Facebook, but just because we recognize that a lot of you don't have Facebook. We saw a lot of people logging in with their parents' accounts last week, and it worked great for last week, but we're hopping back over to YouTube for this week. So if you notice it between now and tomorrow night, Wednesday night, take this as your announcement that we will be here on YouTube for youth group tomorrow night at 6:45 p.m. If you are just showing up now, let us know you're here, and that'll give us a chance to check out sort of the commenting, how long the lag is, and it kind of gives us an idea of if we're coming in clearly, if you can hear us okay. So if you are able, hop on to the comments and comment something so that we know you're here. I'm just going to kind of be looking on that on my phone. You might not see a whole lot tonight, but I'm going to see if anybody ends up watching, text a couple people, see if I can get them on so that we can test it for tonight. Hey, I'm seeing a couple people that are on here. Commented just a minute ago. I'm seeing Emily, and I'm seeing Nightwing. Hello, Nightwing. Thanks for commenting. How are we doing as far as time goes? Let's try this. Go ahead and send something, and I will read it as soon as I find it. This is something I see from Emily. How are we doing with that amount of distance? You think that's going to be able to work? Can you see me clearly? Is it smoother than it was last week? Is it about the same quality? Are we talking any sort of improvement? Is this light right here as blinding as it feels, or how's it coming through? Little laggy, but not too bad. Okay. When we talk laggy, is that just the amount of time in between you post something and I see it and then you see me say something? Or are you talking about like it buffers and it's staggering, or is it coming through pretty clear? Video quality is so much better. Awesome. That's what we're shooting for. That's part of the reason why we're doing YouTube instead of Facebook tomorrow night, is because the video quality tends to be a little bit nicer just with our settings. That's what we found with our church. So that's part of why we're moving over. And then just because you don't need any sort of account to be able to click and watch. You don't even need a YouTube account. So that tells me it's working pretty good. It also tells me that there's enough of a distance in time between when I say something, you get something, you comment, and I say something, that we're probably not going to be able to run a game kind of back and forth. But we should be able to do something. I'll just need to think about that a little bit. I'm seeing pretty quiet from Emily. Nightwing, if you're still there, do you mind letting me know if you're quiet on yours too? Because I can definitely boost my mic. Here, let's try boosting this up. Right about there. Does that seem a little bit better? Is that too much? A little quiet. Okay, how about now? I won't touch it until I hear from one of you. So you can hear it better now? Okay. Well, that tells me right about that level that I see on my screen is about where I want it. So you may notice that I'm also sitting somewhere different than I was last time. So the camera didn't quite work well with what I was thinking we could do with the TV screen. So I'm trying something a little bit different. You can see my closet back here. You can see a guitar case. There's not much to look at, but a couple different things that we could try. I can put the slides on the screen with me right over here. If I do that, can you see it? Is it just too blurry? You can't read anything? Or can you at least see the live, but maybe not the youth group, or maybe not the Merrimack Valley teens? How's that coming through? Can you see that okay? Nice and clear. We have one vote for nice and clear. How about you, Nightwing? And are you watching on a computer or on a phone? Because if it's on a computer, it might be a bigger screen. It might be easier to see. If you're watching on a phone, can you still see it okay? I can only see youth group and live. Okay, so not the white text underneath there, right about there. That might be a little bit too small. Okay, what about if I do this? Wow, I went away. You can still hear me, but you can see the whole slide. Can you read the Merrimack Valley Teens then? So we can see that. Okay, can you read the Merrimack Valley Teens? Awesome. Okay, let me go through just a couple of my slides from last Wednesday to make sure that you can read it. So things like the Bible verses or the lesson. Let me first put it up here, and I'm going to go ahead and pop over to this. How much of that can you read? Yes, I'm doing my best to make sure we're nice and fancy for tomorrow night. Trying to make it a little bit smoother, a little bit nicer, a little bit easier to connect with, easier to see. How much of that slide can you read? Perfect. Okay. Even the parables of Jesus? Not the individual lines, but that subheading there? Okay. We'll keep cooking. How about that? Can you read that? And if you're just joining, are you on a computer or are you on a phone? Just so I have an idea. All right, how much of this verse can you read? You know, when I started today, I did not think I was going to end up doing a vision test at 8:38 p.m. with a whole bunch of you. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you can help me test out. And I'm excited to finish up our little vision test here so that I can go grab some soup for dinner. You're on your phone and you're seeing it okay? Can you read that verse? What does the bottom line say? Okay, a little bit small. And if we do this, can you definitely read it? Alright, now Nightwing is just showing off. I can I can read it just fine. We have a little bit of blurry, but when I make it full screen, what do we think? Cool. Okay, so then maybe when I first put up a verse, I will put it full screen, just like that, and I'll read through it, and then as I'm talking about it, I can put it down like that pretty easy, or if I think it's going to be distracting, I can take it away completely and go ahead and put up the next stuff. I think the rest of it is going to be pretty similar. I don't think anything's going to be too different. But if we're looking at something like that, you should be able to read that okay, right? Is that text big enough for you to be able to read it? I look like I'm looking at the slide, but I'm actually just looking at my phone. Okay, so if I want to make it like a really strong point, I could put it up like this so you can see it, you can mark it down or something like that. But then if I'm talking about it, it should be fine for me to do that or just get rid of it. Hello, string cheese. How are you? We have an oh wow. What's the oh wow for, String Cheese? Going through the rest of this, just making sure there's nothing crazy. As I'm going through, how bad is the reflection on my face? Is it distracting at all? And that's it. Cool. Alright, that is more or less what we'll do for slides. Thank you. I thought String Cheese was David. I just wasn't 100% sure, and that's not the kind of thing that you can come back from, calling the wrong person String Cheese. I know, your cover's blown, I'm sorry. Okay, we're not seeing much of a reflection, that's good. Cool. So whether we're looking at this, or we're looking at this, we can at least get an idea, and the larger the text, the easier it is to read. For smaller stuff, we can go ahead and just go full screen. I think this is going to work a whole lot better than last week. Hopefully you can see me a whole lot clearer, you can hear me nicely, hopefully I'm nicely lit, and I think having the slides on the screen is going to work a little bit better than me trying to have a TV behind me. If you have any ideas about stuff I should put behind me, let me know. I'm happy to take requests as long as they're not too weird. So let me know. Okay, I think I'm going to hop off and I'm going to grab some soup, but I have to say thank you to each of you. Thanks for your input. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a good night.